Glad you're here. Everybody else returning, really glad to see you as well. And so today we're going to be talking about athletic recovery. So rapid recovery from training and injury for athletes. This is something that I've worked with on the medical end quite a bit. And using RF frequency technology to help heal people has been really, really amazing. All right. And so athletes, elite athletes, collegiate athletes, high school athletes, they train really hard. They play really hard. They do a lot of strength and conditioning. They really tax their bodies. And recovery is so important because when you don't have a fully recovered body, you're far more prone to injury. And for the rest of us that are still, love to play hard, water ski, snow ski, all the stuff we do, the older we get, the slower we recover. So VibraGenix is really key in rapid recovery. So in training, you're pushing your body to its limit. And you get done with your training session, you might have to go do a lifting session, then you have to go do practice. Your body is in a state of disrepair. When I talk to athletes, they are just taxed out, they're sore all the time. And then you go from that into a game. So you're not recovered yet, and you're going into a game, and that's where injuries can happen because you're pushing your body so hard for so long without allowing a recovery time. And you really don't have the time to recover, especially if you're in an athletic program, collegiate program, high school program, but especially elite athletics like Olympic athletes and NFL, NBA, all of those kind of players. I mean, you have to play when it's game time, and you're training like crazy in between. So a lot of injuries also occur during the games. And what you want is to get that athlete healed as fast as possible and back in the game. And our technology is profound. Anything from concussion recovery, pulled hamstrings, shoulder injuries, ankle sprains. We can get rid of a high ankle sprain in usually 3 to 4 sessions. Shoulder injuries, hamstring pulls, whatever it is, you can really get that player back in the game and healed and pain-free and performing at their peak in a very, very short period of time. To have a very special guest, Coach Mike, with me. We're talking about athletic training and recovery, and there's no greater authority than this guy right here. Can you give us a little bit of your background?
Sure, Carolyn. Appreciate you having me on. My background, I'm a USA track and field high performance sprint coach and an IAAF, and that's the FIFA of track and field, national level Olympic sprint coach. I've coached at various Olympic Games, World Championships, World Youth, World Juniors, athletes. My athletes have reached into the top 10 in the world, both in junior and youth and on the world level. So just been doing this for over 20 years and always looking for new methodologies and modalities to help my athletes' performance. And when I ran into your machine, it's one of the best things that I've ever discovered as far as recovery and also as far as optimization before practice.
That's great. So I was really excited to get to meet you, and that happened through Dr. Yoon, and he showed you the machine. And what did you first think when you first saw the machine? That's a vibe plate, right?
Yes,
you think it was just a vibe plate?
Yes. So by sight, I thought it was a vibrational plate, which are very common. But it was far from a vibrational plate. It's what the future of medicine is, which is we're 70% water, and it's sending sounds, specific sounds, into the body for specific reasons, such as inflammation removal, things like this. So as we all know, 2 like frequencies cancel each other out. So I wanted to test this theory on this machine to see if it worked. And we've been working with it with some of our Olympic athletes for the last 2 weeks, and it is highly effective. Highly effective.
Great. So yes. Can you share any personal experience or any of theirs?
Sure. So, for instance, we had one of our athletes, Devin Dixon. Devin went to Texas A&M. He was the NCAA champion in 2021 in the 800 meters, ranked number 25 in the world at the time. He's had some problems with his back and with his left calf. And we put him on the machine. He had to stop a workout the other day. And we brought him down, put him on the machine. All the pain was gone, and he went to the weight room and did an hour and a half workout in the weight room. After that, we put him on the machine again, and he woke up in the morning with absolutely no pain. Now, previously you would have to take your athletes, shut them down, check them the next day, get them into one of your body care workers, whatever your flavor is, chiropractic, acupuncture, massage, these type of things. And you'd probably be down 2, 3, 4 days trying to solve the problem. And the problem was solved within a half hour. So we were very excited about that, me and my staff.
That's great. I know I've talked to a lot of strength and conditioning coaches at the collegiate level, and I haven't seen the enthusiasm for recovery and how important it is. So foam roller, is pretty much enough for them. And then I asked you what you thought, how important you thought recovery was. And what did you say?
Recovery is a training modality, and it's everything. So people, in our sport, different sports, people talk about people that cheat. So, if you take steroids don't help you run faster. They help you recover faster so you can do more training. So the faster you can recover, get the mitochondria back to an optimal state, get the inflammation from the system, the more work you can do in a healthy way. So this is exactly that. It provides me with more dynamic ability in regards to my training protocols. I can increase volume. I could increase intensity. I could increase density of work, all without having long-term residual effects because they're recovering at a much more rapid rate in a healthy manner. If that makes sense.
Absolutely. And do you see this in the future is going into different athletic programs and for recovery?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is the future of medicine. This is the future of performance and recovery, without a doubt. You're just ahead of the curve. And I see a lot of things in this world. I've coached in many places on the planet, and I've coached for many different federations. I see their PTs, their recovery teams, and things like this. And nobody's coming even close to this. The Russians have a few things. They have a few devices that they're using, sound wave devices, but nothing like this.
Wonderful. Anything else you'd like to add?
You need one. If you're serious about sports and you're serious about health in general, you need to get this. This is the real deal. And I'm not easy to sell. People come to me all the time.
And you used it personally.
What was that, Doc?
Oh, and you've used it personally.
Oh, I've used it. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I've used it on myself. I've used it on my own kids. One of my daughters, she was sick with a cough. It was really bad. She couldn't get rid of it. She went through a round of antibiotics and it was still present. We put her on the machine for 25 minutes. We put different protocols on there, and she got up. She coughed really hard. Some mucus came out, and it ended. That was it. She went home, went to bed that night, and it was all gone. Yes. Yes. We had another athlete. We had another Olympic athlete. The Olympic athlete's name is Anthony Smith, and he'll run for Turkey. And he was having an adductor problem in practice yesterday. So we put him on the machine, and we put the node right on the adductor. We did a couple other protocols on it, and he got up after 20 minutes and went back to practice and had no problem. Completed the practice. Didn't feel anything, actually. Which is crazy. That's like that's
the way it should be.
Well, yeah.
I think it's especially with athletes too. They're so physically fit. They respond really quickly to something like this.
Correct. That's correct. They're going to heal quicker. They're going to, but they're very acute in both directions. So when a Ferrari is misaligned just slightly, it lets you know, and you'll feel the pull. So the track and field athletes, especially in the sprints and jumps, everything has to be perfect. No one can compete at 99%. Health has to be optimal. So, you look at this machine and the modalities that it's providing us. It's providing us really uninterrupted training cycles and optimal training cycles, which is huge.
So you should make more gains.
Right.
Yeah, that's one thing from a medical standpoint. I know if the body is not recovered, that you are much more prone to injury. And I also know as we
Yes.
get older, referring to myself, you don't recover as fast. So this shortens that recovery time so that you can keep playing hard as you get
Oh
older.
yeah. Oh yeah. No, I've had a few of my friends on it. We're all over 50 and it's going really well for every one of us. We really, really like it. Really a lot. I went out, in fact, last Friday or Saturday night, I went out for a huge Italian dinner, had a lot of wine, had a lot to drink, came home, got on this thing for 20 minutes, and I woke up and there were very minimal residual effects from all the alcohol and food the night before. So I was very thankful for
Did
the
you get
machine
on?
being. What's that?
Did you use the hangover frequencies the next morning?
Yes, I did. Yes, I
That's
did.
good.
Sorry.
That's good. They're there for a reason to be used.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a business dinner, so I had little guilt involved, right?
Awesome. And I'm hoping together we can open the whole athletic world to this technology because I think it'll be a huge lifesaver.
Yeah, this is gonna change the dynamic of how we view optimization and recovery because those are two separate things. You don't need to be sick or injured to have this. If you're feeling great or fine, it's only going to magnify the optimization of an average person and an athlete. So family households should have this just as like they have a medicine cabinet, and athletes should have this just like they have their favorite chiropractor or massage therapist. I mean, it's required. And if your competition has
It's
this and you
interesting.
don't, they have an edge. Period. End of story.
Love it. I call it my frequency medicine cabinet because I use it for everything, anything that comes up, and it seems to work.
That's right.
I know
Well,
you. I know you're super busy, and I thank you so much for your time.
oh, absolutely, Doc. Anytime. Right.
Thank you.
And looking forward to talk to you here next week.
Perfect. Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Have a great
Bye-bye.
day. So one thing that I will tell you, this is not, and this is one thing that Coach Mike thought when he first saw a picture of a VibraGenix. He thought, oh, that's just a vibe plate. This is not your mama shaker machine. This is not your traditional teeter-totter mechanical machine. This is not even your traditional power plate. Those are all mechanical devices. And they don't do anything outside of a temporary effect. So they'll shake the cells, but they don't do anything to help heal them. They don't do anything to get the vibration level or the voltage level up in the cell so it can rapidly heal itself. So VibraGenix, what it is kind of the ultimate biohack for recovery and training. So its sound frequency is specific for different things, for releasing inflammation, for getting rid of pain, for back spasms, for sprains, for anything that you might do, contusions, concussions, anything that you might do to yourself in a playing field. There are over 1,000 frequency formulas for different things, and it is fine-tuned for whatever you might need that is specific for your body. And there's cell exciters that you can put directly on a part of the body where you have the injury. There's headphones if you have brain trauma or concussion. There's a list of protocols that we have put together for different situations for athletes, and they're very, very, very effective. The reason this works so well is because you're 70% water if you're hydrated, and sound travels 5 times faster through water. And this vibration is purely powered by sound. You are actually moving in a sine wave. There's no mechanics in this plate. So we have a really broad frequency range of 4 to 20,000 hertz that is really effectively produced and reproduced through this machine. And if you do a live blood cell analysis, you'll see before and after just 10 minutes of sonic vibration, there is a radical change in the cell voltage in each cell in your body. And what happens is you get that cell voltage up, you have spontaneous rapid healing. So that is exactly what we want. And athletes, more than anyone else, it seems like athletes and animals respond extraordinarily fast. The athletes because they're in peak condition, and animals just because they're very intuitive and their body really reacts well to this. And the other reason this works so well is because your basic building block is not just your cell. Your basic building block is actually the atom. And this atom is a bundle of energy. It has the nucleus with protons and neutrons, the electrons flying it around at the speed of light. It is full of energy. And since you are frequency, I am frequency. Frequency medicine, which is exactly what this technology is the absolute best way, fastest way to treat the body. It responds very, very quickly. This is the actual energy field that goes around the human body and down through the chakras. And getting everything, all the trauma energy cleared so you don't have an energy blockage and your body can heal really rapidly is definitely a key. And VibraGenix is very, very effective at that. We have a couple panels that we've built in. The peak performance panel was actually created by strength and conditioning coaches, and it's for neuromuscular entrainment. They're a minute and 20-second peaks, and the athlete gets on there. They run all of these different frequency formulas for fatigue, lymph drainage, mood elevation, extra energy, and muscle pain. And the athlete will do a series of exercises, whether it's squats and then lunges off one side, lunges off the other, jump up, spin around, do it again, or if it's a different series of exercises. But they do that for a minute and 20 seconds on one peak, and then they get off and they do a set of something, either body weight exercises or stretching or lifting, and then come back and do the next peak. So really effective for that neuromuscular entrainment. Sports recovery tab, really, really important. There's a pain management. There's frequencies for inflammation, for muscle pain and injury, all kinds of things on there that you can use in athletic recovery. So ankle sprains, high ankle sprains can really knock somebody out for a few weeks. And 4 to 5 days, sometimes 3 days, we can get rid of that. And you can be at peak playing condition with no pain. Hamstring pulls, usually in 2 sessions, you'll actually sit down on the plate, sideways, put your hamstring on the plate, and then you can use the cell exciters on either side of your leg. Rapid, rapid recovery. We've had some amazing comeback stories. People getting ready for tryouts, people getting ready for a game. Relieving back spasms. Those can be debilitating, and we can usually get rid of those in 1 session. But eliminating pain and back pain is really key. Any kind of pain, especially in an athlete, they're very tuned into their body and how it's feeling, and they recover really rapidly. So they love, love, love this technology. So you can use it as a warm-up before training to get everything flowing. It's really effective for moving the lymphatic system, increasing the circulation, get you really warm and ready to work out and do your training or lifting or practice or an actual game. And then afterwards, super important for recovery. If you use it before you train, it makes your training easier. If you are training and you can't make your sets, go and get on the machine, come back, you'll be able to complete them and have a really effective workout. And then again, recovery, absolutely key. So do get on this technology after you have a game, after you do a training session or practice session. You're going to be in your peak condition state when you come back and do the next thing. This is Coach Todd Barber. He is at Washington State University. I wanted you to hear what he has to say. They've been using our technology for probably 4 years.
My name is Todd Barber. I'm the Assistant Athletic Director at Washington State University for Strength and Conditioning. When I got here last September, I was looking for something to help us get to the next level as far as being able to compete at a national stage. We have great athletes here. Everybody works really hard. We have a great facility, but we're just missing a couple things that we really needed to help us get us over the top. Our track athletes getting ready for the season and doing indoor season. We're living on this thing. On both of them. It's great for recovery. It's great for regeneration the next day. It's great for warm-up. We've had a lot of PRs down in the weight room with our athletes coming up here doing a quick warm-up before we even do our dynamic warm-up down below. This is a tool that's going to help us take that next step to where we're competing on a national stage year after year.
And Coach Barber's talking a little bit about the high ankle sprain recovery that he did with his triple athlete son.
Something to put in our hat for later. We've treated a lot of ankle sprains,
Yep.
and it usually takes 4 treatments. We actually put the cell exciters inside the sock and have them on the plate, not putting full pressure on that foot. And it usually takes 4, sometimes 5 sessions, and it's
Actually, I did that on my son,
oh,
who was a 3-sport athlete, and he sprained his ankle. It was a pretty good one in a playoff game, basketball, and the ATC for that other school, because we did it on the road, wanted to tape it and wanted to do all this stuff, and I said, absolutely not, we're not going to tape it. I have my floss band here, I flossed it. He played the rest of the game, brought him here that night, brought him here the next day, before their next game, and he never missed a second of basketball. He felt, after actually about the second treatment or maybe the third treatment, he felt fantastic and was still jumping out of the gym. So I have used it with ankles.
There you go.
Because I had to put him inside the sock.
Yep.
I tried to wrap it first with the and it didn't work.
No, inside the sock.
So
Perfect.
I had him put his sock back on, and we did it inside the sock, and he felt fantastic.
So these are a couple of CrossFit athletes relating their experience with training and using this machine for recovery.
I'm really a true believer of this machine. I pulled my hamstring on a Tuesday, and my Saturday I was able to compete in a workout for a CFL team. Before I used it, I couldn't bend down and touch my hamstring. After that, I felt relief right there. I was able to touch my toes, able to run a 4.47, and it really works.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I was just trying to do a heavy 8-rep front squat. I failed one of the reps. Tim called me over to get in this machine. I stayed in there for about 5 minutes, listening to my favorite music. It was vibrating all over my body, really kind of stimulated everything. Went back to do it again, and it felt 10 times easier, and I ended up getting all the reps this time.
So this really is your frequency medicine cabinet. It doesn't matter if it's an injury or you need to recover or you have lactic acid to get rid of or you need your mood elevated or you're fatigued and you need to get over that to actually perform at your peak state. This is amazing technology. I think it's something that will become a part of every athletic program in the world. For injury prevention and recovery at the cellular level, VibraGenix is it. Go ahead and scan this and it will take you to any of our information or give us a call or shoot us an email. Thanks for being here today.